threads stacking skill that I managed to unlock, which is absolutely insane skill, guys. So yesterday, as I told you guys, I was going through all sorts of trials, triumphs, failures, and tribulations in order to figure out what would be the best way for me to make more sales. And as I was going through all of those trials, failures, and tribulations, I talked about threads sequencing. And of course, if you're not familiar with what is threads sequencing, definitely take a look at my previous workshops. Also, I talked about other ways for you to make more money by taking out a bank loan, and created a workshop for that as well. Definitely take a look at that workshop whenever you guys get a chance. But the main thing that I wanted to tell you today, guys, is I discovered another skill that is part of the threads stacking set of skills that has to do with making more sales. Guys, this skill works like a clock. It is connected to threads sequencing. It is connected to certain keywords that you got to respond with to people, and it's connected to way bigger than just building your threads theme. When you start building your threads theme, you start showing kind of combinational content, pets, cats, kids, and dogs, showing dancing moms, showing educational style videos, while also kind of having some other videos popping in that kind of represent your brands, while your brand, while still showing that signature move, whatever that move may be. In my particular case, anytime I start off with a video, I show fire. So threads theme is very important, but if you don't connect that threads theme to the needs and wants of the feudal lords, the brand owners, then it's going to be exponentially difficult for you to break through the attention span of your audience. So here's what I discovered upon doing additional threads stacking in the mindsets of moms over 40, and this is what works. When you start responding to threads, start doubling down and kind of so let's say you see somebody responded on threads to a particular mom who's looking for how do we monetize content on threads. Let's say this is a thread that she asked, this is the post she created, and let's say other people trying to respond to this post and they're responding with links of their guides. But you want to be the one who is going to be the hero. You want to be the guy who wants to sell that product to that mom, or you want to be that mom who wants to sell that guide to that mom. So how do you do this? How do you battle all those other people who are showing all of those guides, and you want to be on top? You want to be the one who makes more money. How do you do this? Like, how do you win the battle? How do you win? This is what I'm covering, and thank you guys for joining and allocating a little bit of your time on this lovely Sunday. I am heading out right now, guys, real quick to get some cinnamon raisin bagel with cream cheese toasted, and I'm taking you with me and sharing with you some of my discoveries. As I make those discoveries, I share them with you, so this way you utilize them in your journey. In this particular case, I'm talking about threads stacking, one of those innovative set of skills. Hello, cat baby. Thank you guys for joining. And look, guys, here's what you want to do if you want to break through to your ideal. Hello, blue tiger. Guys, so look, if you want to break through to your ideal customer profile and start making money and have more time for your pets, cats, kids, and dogs, and want to literally like make more money, here's what you have to do when you start thread stacking. Hello, Makaila Wilson. Thank you. Oh my God. So I got so many people joining. I didn't think anybody would care about all those discoveries that I make for moms over 40. But I guess you guys do care, considering the fact that there's a lot of moms following me, guys. Like, look, those moms, they don't even want to unfollow me, guys. I kid you not. Sometimes just for the ha-has, I may create a thread and tell everybody, hey guys, why don't you go ahead and unfollow me? Trust me, I tried that several times. Content is so strong that they don't even want to unfollow me, guys. Just imagine if you could learn this skill, this fire skill that will literally get your content popping right in front of their eyes. So guys, look, here's what you got to do. I'm gonna try to help you understand the discoveries I made just today. Yesterday I talked about yesterday's discoveries I made, and today I'm going to talk about today's discoveries while thread stacking. And once again, hello everybody, and thank you for commenting. The more comments I see, the more I know in which direction I could kind of deliver this skill, because like the more personal things I know about you, let's say if you're a mom over 40, if you have like I don't know, maybe 4 to 7 years old kids, and you're wondering how to, I don't know, make money online, but also don't want to be the process prisoner, constantly sitting there burning your brain cells creating videos and not necessarily making any money, that's also bad. So what I want to do is I want to give you guys the path that can help you really break through ideal customer. Okay, so what car do you have? I just have a regular Mazda CX-5. So that's what it is. It's nothing fancy, guys. So look, here's what I want to do. And hello Queen, CNP Queen, thank you guys for joining. And I'm like, as I'm going through this journey, I'm literally spilling tea and describing what works on threads, guys. Threads could be used together in combination with YouTube. So whenever you create on YouTube, there's like different strategies for YouTube and threads, and the only way for you guys to understand how all of this works, so this way you make more money, is to is to follow me on threads, and also listen to those YouTube lives, because those discoveries are not described anywhere in the world. This is just something that I'm discovering myself as upon me just kind of trying to figure out how to help moms over 40 make more money. And as I'm diving into the brain and trying to figure out all, like, everything that they care for, I start discovering those patterns. And it's, as you know, your brain has many, like, trillions of neural connections, and it's just, if somebody tells you, well, use ChatGPT for everything, well, that's a mistake, because ChatGPT can only learn things that well, it can actually only see whatever it is on the internet. It's not going to actually make new things up. It's not going to invent new things. Sure, it hallucinates, but it's not really going to invent brand new concepts. So by joining this live, guys, you're already getting ahead of many moms over 40 who are not utilizing this technique. Guys, look, here's what I discovered. This is a very dangerous discovery that I made today. This discovery is so, like, this is such a strong tea you're getting. It's absolutely insane, guys. So look, I had a mom today who was like, hey, how do I monetize content on threads? Can somebody give me tips? So what I did is I did my typical spiel. I would respond to such mom, and of course when I'm responding, I'm providing value. A lot of people talk about that, but they don't really explain the dynamics for how to do this. They don't really explain, like, what does it mean providing value and engaging. And like what I did today, I literally showed it to you on threads how I do this, and I published it in one of the threads, where, so this way you get to see all of those dependencies that come into play, that gets to help you grow right in front of their eyes. Like, so this is how it works. So when you respond to people on threads, beacon repped trumped. I don't know what that means, but thank you for joining DWII, D Will. Guys, look, here's what you got to do when you start responding to people on threads. Don't just respond like, oh, here's a link. That immediately will, like, you might as well don't respond, because nobody's gonna click on that. What you want to do instead, you want to have a thread that has like 100 micro threads in that thread, and that micro, and all of those micro threads needs to be factoring in your product, whether it's digital product, whether it's physical product, whether it's your community, whether it's your program or service or whatever it is. Guys, look, if you do this, people will see this 100 length thread, and they'll be like scrolling through that thread to infinity almost. And if you cook the heck out of their brain with this powerful ASMR content and all the content that you've seen on YouTube, while maintaining clarity, while maintaining confidence, then this is what's going to work, guys. They're going to be literally glued to that content. They're going to be scrolling. Then threads is going to start recognizing that they're spending colossal amount of time on that content, and what they're going to be doing is literally just responding back and connecting with you. So this is like the first tip, but this is nothing. This is only scratch off the surface, guys. What the real tea is, when you start responding to those people with other moms' threads. So in simple words, when you start responding to one mom, and out of a sudden you started responding to another mom, what you need to do, you need to stitch those moms together. So this way they see not just you responding to a particular mom, but they see you responding to another mom guys, this is a transitive property of mathematics. This is A to B to C relationship. This is, guys, as you know, I'm a former certified math teacher for the state of Connecticut. So I try to throw some of those insane ways for you guys to kind of see the math behind those sales. So this way you could actually, you know, start using it and understand this is actually not like a where you throw spaghetti at the wall and hope for the best. This is actually the real art, the real truth, guys. So thank you guys for joining and allocating a little bit of your time. And one of the other problems that I started discovering about my content, and I'm sure pretty much many moms also have the same problem, when you start talking on live or any other socials, here's what's going to be happening. Sometimes when you're talking, you may be swallowing words and creating that pause, creating kind of inconsistency, and that gets translated as non-confidence, guys. This is the biggest thing that nobody's even going to tell you about it. You could be swallowing words, not having that confidence, and people will be just scrolling through because they're going to be here's the problem, guys. Many people mistake confidence for knowledge, and that is the biggest danger in modern day society that I'm seeing today. So of course what you need to do is develop that confidence, but of course you and me and everybody both understand that confidence does not mean knowledge, but still people judge you based on that confidence. And if you don't solve that problem and continue swallowing words, then of course that's going to be a problem. Now, so how do you not swallow words? How do you continuously just spill tea like some sort of a tea spiller all the time? If you feel like you need to swallow a word, pause. Okay, guys, pause, and then continue. Okay, accelerate your pace. Okay, so I'm kind of doing this right in front of you. You get to pick up lots of skills, guys, lots of skills while watching those live workshops. Those live workshops be like, wow, Ron Wells has just not really shown anything else other than just a car. Why should it be interesting for me? Well, you see, guys, in the process of watching this live workshop, you're developing new set of skills that nobody talks about. You're developing verbal skills and confidence skills, and start understanding how to actually combine thread stacking skills together with those verbal skills, so this way you can make more sales. This is another part of the brain that gets operated on. So whenever you see me talk about any of the stuff and not seeing anything else, and or making when you are, or whenever you see me say or anything like this, this is also kind of a problem. You have to remove ahs, you have to remove pauses, you have to remove inconsistencies, you have to be confident. So anyway, going back to what I discovered after solving this problem and pausing whenever I feel myself like I'm about to say or I'm about to do anything like this, I just pause. Anyway, the next skill that I discovered that truly made progress for me, guys, was when I started thread stacking with moms. And what I would do, I would go to one of the moms threads and I would just see what mom who has like 100,000 followers, what does she have that I don't have? Obviously I'm a dude, I'm not a mom, so obviously we already know that, but still, what does she have in terms of content that I don't have? So what I do is I discover whatever it is, whatever is that secret sauce, and then I snipe that secret sauce and I repackage it into my own theme. The process of repackaging that secret sauce into your own theme, I describe directly in my threads. The only way you're going to be able to understand this, guys, is if you see my threads. The only way to do that is if you follow me on a bio.link/Freedom Fusion System, and as soon as you see my threads, it will start making sense. Guys, this is a gradual transformation of your brain when you start learning those thread stacking skills. When I first started out, I started doubling down on AI skills, but quickly I came to realization that it's extremely easy to do AI, and it's just there's no point of doing AI automations too much. So I reduced my time on AI automations skills from 99% of the time to literally less than 1% at this point. Why? Because first of all, it's gazillion times easier to use AI right now, guys. So double down on, instead of using AI, double down on thread stacking skills. And of course, at my full-time job, I use AI all the time. So for me, it's like I'm still gaining that percentage above that 1% at accelerated pace. But for you guys, Don't burn your brain cells trying to learn only AI and automations and not really making any progress in threads stacking skills. Guys, threads stacking skill is what will guide you towards making connections and making sales on TikTok Shop plus other platforms. So the biggest problem with you guys is, number one, you're not seeing those moms who are literally spawning money, and they're just making money from really simple stuff, like really simple stuff that you're gonna look at this and you're gonna be like, man, I don't know why I didn't do that. Why? Because you doubled down on AI and nothing else, and nobody tapped you on the shoulder and say, wait a second, slow down with AI, do a little bit thread stacking, then go ahead and spy a little bit on those moms, snipe them a little bit, and do some TikTok sniping as well, do some thread sniping, then come back, then go ahead and mix it up a little bit in your theme and show physical or digital product in the mix with your theme, but with the hook of a particular mom who's like constantly producing content, hyper targeting moms over 40 who happen to have a bunch of kids between 4 years old and to 7 years old, and giving them like presetting them for holidays and all that other stuff. This is what I started doing. Before, I wasn't doing any of that. I would be just creating theme, I would be creating AI content, I would be creating all of this kind of fire looking threads, like beyond anything. So fire that even Pepsi created a drink after my company's name. But it wasn't converting sales, it wasn't making anything, it wasn't making anything happen. And I was like, how is it possible that a big billion-dollar company loves my content so much that they create a drink called Freedom Fusion after my company's name, yet typical moms don't even want to buy a guide from me for $14.99. This was just, it didn't compute in my mind, guys. It didn't compute. None of that computed in my mind. I knew that I needed to do something different, something that would captivate those moms over 40. And I have to morph my brain with those moms over 40. I have to shapeshift my mind into the minds of moms over 40. As soon as I started doing this, guys, this is when I started seeing immediate progress. So if you guys are not making any sales at all, if you're struggling big time, go ahead and compare the threads that I did today to the threads that I did yesterday, and see the difference between when I sniped a mom, meaning like I didn't actually snipe her, but like sniped the content of a mom, and how I managed to combine that content, how I managed to copy the framework, copy not that word for word, but the framework of the hook for what those for what this other mom created who has 100,000 followers, for what she did, how I managed to copy her framework and managed to intertangle, morph, shapeshift that hook into the thread, and then included all the other fire looking threads that I already had, like a fire looking video of a product that shows a beautiful stack of cards that you could put on a little robot. The robot draws the little kind of card, whatever, like a bumblebee or whatever kind of animals on that card. And it's just this product is so naturally intertangled with the whole brand Freedom Fusion system and thread stack and stacking. It's just, once you find the product that just really like morph to your brand, to your bundle name, you're gonna know what the product looks like. You're gonna know. In this case, it was a stack of cards that is connected to a robot. And if you show that little robot to a kid, like between the age of 4 to 7 years old, then instantly that kid is gonna be like, oh my God, I want that robot. And of course, they're gonna go to their mom and they're gonna say, oh my God, I want this robot that draws little bumblebees. And congratulations, guys, you managed just to take that product of the robot and include it in a thread and show it and wave that thread in front of everybody like a carrot and say, hey guys, look, I got this fire looking product for kids between the age of 4 and 7. This is absolutely perfect for any moms over 40 with those kids. If you love your kids, prove it, go ahead and get that robot, right? Guys, like, this is the key. Before, I would be just hyper focusing only on moms over 40, and they would not be listening to me. They would not be doing anything, it felt like I was screaming into the void. But that, even though I was doing that, I kept developing skills, and those skills became so strong, because sooner or later, guys, like, look, people are going to tell you, if you keep doing something and you keep doing it over and over and over, that's either the sign of insanity or like sooner or later things will happen. Well, for me, things weren't happening for about a year and a half. So of me constantly doing things. Guys, if you constantly creating content and you get in the zone of being comfortable, that's the most dangerous feeling, like dangerous thing on planet Earth, being in comfort. You need somebody who can tap on your shoulder and say, hey, yo, what the heck are you doing? Why are you continuously creating content? That doesn't make any sense. You need to go ahead and balance it all out, reduce that stress, introduce cohesiveness, introduce polarization, and all of those other craziness that you get to learn, guys, once you start going through my threads. But if nobody's doing that, then it's going to be, oh my God, guys, this is going to be so hard for you to break through if nobody's actually like helping you stay accountable for that. Because what's happening on the back of your mind when you start thread stacking, you're gonna naturally start hitting likes on people's threads, which is a huge mistake. You don't want to be hitting likes on people, especially on your competitors. I raised in one of the threads today, and I said, hey guys, why are you hitting likes on digital marketers? They're your competitors. Unless you're a company like like a talent agency who's trying to connect moms together with brands and trying to connect micro influencers with brands, then it doesn't make any sense for you to go ahead and hit likes on any of the digital marketers' content. And I went ahead and I mentioned that, and immediately the whole ripple effect took place, and out of a sudden all the moms like started not hitting likes to anybody. So guys, like, look, if you hit the like in front of your customer, hit the like in front of your ideal customer profile, not the digital marketer. Okay guys, now in my particular case, it's different because I am targeting digital faceless marketers. They are my ideal customer profile. For you guys, you need to be targeting other people who are like boss moms or business owner moms. Okay guys, that is the key. Also guys, when you start respond with words like this: I promise you will love this thread. Okay guys, write this down. I promise you will love my threads feed. I promise you will love this thread. Combine this what I just said together. Like when responding, here's the thing guys, this is art. This took me a year and a half to figure this out. Like if you try to figure this out on your own and try to do this, like literally imagine spending a year and a half, and instead all you got to do is listen to like 30 minutes of my workshop, like right here. You get to learn, skip all those failures of trials, triumphs, and tribulations of a year and a half, and you get straight for the kill, which means you get to make more sales. You could have a beautiful life, you could have a beautiful vacation, you could travel, you could do like, man, whatever. Like the sky's the limit. Like all you got to do is just show up on those workshops whenever I do them and listen to them, make notes. Heck, use ChatGPT. You could literally take transcripts of all my videos, use ChatGPT, or there's a new feature in ChatGPT where you could literally turn things on and it just will listen and then create like little notes, digital notes for you, so this week could come back and be like, oh yeah, wow, Rome Wells told me about thread stacking. He said this is what works. Guys, like if you don't use those words, like what I just said, hey, I promise you will love this thread. It seems like a cheesy thing to say, like I promise you will love my threads feed, right? And I perhaps maybe on the back of my mind, that's why I never really actually mentioned that. But then I started mentioning it because at that point I was no longer scared about what if she doesn't, when I say the word I promise you will love my threads feed, what if she doesn't love it? And it was kind of on my back of my mind, and that's the reason why I never actually mentioned any of that. So but now, after I learned those insane skills, I mean, if Pepsi loved my content, I'm pretty sure everybody else will when they look at it. So I had no fear anymore out of a sudden once I developed those skills for how to create fire-looking content. And at that point, I was like, okay, now there's truth in those words when I say, I promise you will love my threads feed. Now, all of a sudden, I felt that confidence. Before, that confidence wasn't in me. I was swallowing words. I was going too fast. I was going so fast that people couldn't even catch up. I wasn't figuring out which moms out there who are making money. I wasn't really analyzing them too much. I was kind of just thread stacking in my own world. Guys, look, you need to be thread stacking while also combining thread stacking with other skills like business development, analysis of other bougie boss moms that are making money. Quickly take a pic of what they're doing. Go ahead, snipe their content a little bit, add their hook, modify the words a little bit. Don't use ChatGPT for that. Do that manually, guys. If you do this with ChatGPT, you're cooked. You're not gonna have that creative thinking. Eventually it's gonna work. It's gonna be for you 10 times harder than to execute things versus if you started to do this manually. Later on, you could use like variations of ChatGPT and other strategies and combining virtual assistants to do that with ChatGPT. But you yourself, as the business person, as the bougie boss mom, don't do this. Use the creativity, use this manually, and you'll be surprised what kind of patterns you're going to start constructing, that the types of patterns that don't even exist anywhere in the world. You're going to be constructing while thread stacking. Business development will occur naturally once you start thread stacking. It will, out of a sudden, you'll be like combining one mom with another mom together. So this way, when you're responding to people on threads, they don't just see you saying, "Hey, trust me, bro." They get to see another mom who you're interfacing with, and they get to see that other mom's thread using the transitive property of mathematics over here. Guys, I'm combining mathematics, psychology, digital faceless marketing, AI content-driven automations, inner combinations of all sorts of social platforms to help you break through to your ideal customer profile. So this way you could increase your chances of making money. So this way you could have those beautiful, beautiful vacations, pets, cats, and dogs. Right now I'm sitting in a Mazda CX-5, but guys, like, I was driving on a $150,000 car in Florida. That my car got stolen it got towed for like a day. I was horrified, guys. Ever since then, I was like, no, never again. I'm just gonna be driving a regular car. And I used to have Porsche as well. Like, guys, none of that anything financially related, none of that should matter to you guys. This year, heck, I mean, if you guys want to know something fun, I did become a millionaire this year. But not from thread stacking. It was from just boring way of becoming a millionaire, guys. And of course, if you guys want to learn the boring way, definitely let me know. But yeah, what I do is I try to like this is how I live my life, guys. When let's say I want to go for vacation somewhere really far, but I don't really have money for that. I need to figure out a way for how to grow it. I may either execute one strategy or another depending on where I'm at in the marketing life cycle. Sort of like Warren Buffett, guys. Like, literally before, I remember before reading Warren Buffett books, I would be just losing money in stock. It was just really horrible. I'd play meme stocks and just losing insane amount of money. Then I read the book, 5 years went by, and then I became a millionaire. But that book was really like, it was a knock in my head saying like, hey, Ron Wells, what the heck are you doing? Right now I'm doing real estate investment across both countries, Russia and United States. I'm doing thread stacking. I have my own micro influence talent agency called Freedom Fusion System, and I help moms over 40 grow their feudal kingdom, grow their brands, help them get connected with brands, and help them have a better life. That's basically like what I do it on a part-time basis, while of course having a full-time job as a cybersecurity and cloud engineer. And that's where all my AI and automation skills, and heck, I even picked up another side hustle for one of the big banks to go ahead and help them like interconnect all those systems. They're struggling with really complex cybersecurity systems, and that's what I do, guys. I consult big banks, and I do that as a side hustle. I don't burn bridges with consulting companies. I squabble up together with them, and they call me. Everything works based on my schedule, based on my terms, based on my time. Guys, look, the only reason I'm telling you this, to tell you that I'm not just like just some random guy. I'm literally a guy who wants to help you, moms over 40, succeed. So this way I literally don't know how you could not want to learn the stuff, thread stacking. This is the top skill that you absolutely must have, guys. If you really want to have a beautiful life, want to travel, enjoy your summer vacation, have fun with your pets, cats, kids, and dogs, you really want to do this, guys. If you don't do this, like, it's just going to be, like, it's going to be kind of, how should I say that? It's going to be really sad for you. Why? Because you met a beautiful expertise. You met probably one of the smartest people on planet Earth you met just by coming across YouTube and watching me and other people as well. I don't want to say me being the smartest, but you come across different types of people. Recognize those people and follow them, guys. This is the secret way for you to make money. Recognize the smart people and follow them. Don't confuse confidence for knowledge. I could be very confident spilling tea, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm really hyper knowledgeable. What I do for that is instead I squabble up with other people who are extremely knowledgeable, hook them up with a feudal incubator, make them feudal hustlers, coaches, and help them make money. While they make money, they also help other people learn incredible skills like thread stacking skills or any other skills. This whole concept of interconnecting other people together, it's called feudal system. So it's called feudal system framework. Definitely take a look if you, in case if you guys are interested. This is actually a pathway to become a millionaire, to build a talent agency and connect micro influencers. In case if you guys are interested in that, I definitely want to help you guys out to build that company, so this way you could achieve your goals. But the best way to build this company is literally just start off marketing some of those products. Remember, guys, I created a video for the next wave of creators. Hopefully you watched that video right here on YouTube Live, who those next wave of creators are going to be. If you want to become really successful, become the next wave of those creators. The best path for you is to do the following. Start off slowly with thread stacking. Figure out a way for how to break through to this ideal customer profile and your audience's audience. And of course, you're gonna get help in terms of making that happen in Thread Stack Digital Power Bundle, which is only $14.99. Notice how I'm just cohesively describing, spilling tea almost effortlessly as I'm describing all of those high cardinality heterogeneous complexities and accelerating, deaccelerating, pausing, stopping, moving fast. Guys, like, can you imagine if you learn this skill? Like, what can it do for you? But it will probably do nothing for you if you just spill tea and don't really combine it to thread stacking and AI automation and business development and including some sort of value. So the best way for you to do that, guys, if you really want to get to that $1 million mark, start building your micro influence talent agency, where you literally squabble up with other people. So pick a niche, for example, moms over 40, luxury brands. Pick a niche and hyper focus your threads around that niche. And it could be different niche. It doesn't have to be moms over 40, but I picked moms over 40 with pets, cats, and dogs, pets, cats, kids, and dogs, luxury pets, cats, and dogs, luxury bougie boss moms. That's kind of the micro area that I picked. Then I went ahead and I doubled down and I focused more and expanded the talent agency further, and started thread stacking and creating that brand. So guys, look, I'm gonna get going. If you want to learn more about all those skills that I discovered, take a look at my threads. I promise you're gonna love it, and I'll see you next time. And go to my bio.link/Freedom Fusion System, and yeah, definitely guys, study those threads. I'll see you next time.